Hello, and welcome back to Deathgate. I'm Mors Radis,
I am Rulebook Heavily.
and we are now on the human island of Arianis, where we are going to try to climb some trees and talk to some guards. We will succeed at one of these things. Now, this guard is entirely optional to talk to. He is not a required character at all, but he is my favorite character. Because he is not going to take any of Haplo's shit.
Look at this dialogue. Of course it's a required character.
Well, I mean, you can beat the game without ever talking to him. I'm not sure why you would, but you can.
It would be a very hollow experience to me.
Oh, yes. I said he was my favorite character. He is the best character on Arianis. Even though he only has this one conversation.
What I want to know is, where the heck did Haplo get a dictionary?
Well, you know, the labyrinth wants to educate people so that they understand their suffering. That way they suffer more. No, that's not actually true. I made that up, guys.
Yeah.
I realize you might believe it was true, because the labyrinth makes no goddamn sense, but it's not.
Haplo is just that good.
Yeah. So, these guards will not let us in to see the king, which we kind of need to do. And Haplo will just keep doing this, because Haplo has infinite patience when it comes to insulting and belittling people.
Well, you know, if he needs to do something.
Yeah, this really is not a very urgent situation for Haplo, after all. I mean, sure, there's some guys who are being enslaved, but his goal is to fix some pipes.
Oh yeah, I mean, Haplo needs those pipes.
But Haplo does not need to save people, except as a route to get those pipes.
And insult everyone he meets on the way.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, he is a patron. But if we show them the signet ring, they will not only let us inside, they will force us inside, where we have to talk to King Stephen and his royal magician Trian.
Whoa, scene precision.
Yeah. Stephen here is the smuggest goddamn son of a bitch on Arianis. Except for Haplo.
Yeah. I'd punch him in the face, except, you know, he'd get me back for it.
Yeah, King Stephen is good at threatening people. But he's also very patient with Haplo, I suspect because he enjoys the chance to threaten him more.
Really, King Stephen's smile here kind of puts a totally different character than you might expect on this scene.
Yeah, he's much happier about all this than you'd really think he would be.
An interesting tale, but quite impossible. Duke Andrews wouldn't be separated from his signature.
Even though he's threatening Haplo throughout the entire conversation.
And
Haplo doesn't care.
Stephen's impeccable logic packs away at Haplo's, you know, lies.
Haplo's not really lying. I mean, he's lying, but he's not lying in any way that would normally be believable.
Now he's just straight up insulting the king.
Yeah, that is what Haplo does. Haplo's an asshole. Of course, so is King Stephen, so it kind of balances out. He is also a very good character, though. He's very entertaining, even if he's a little too cheerful about all this.
Yeah, well...
And completely and totally non-moving. He will never leave that position, ever.
He will, however, explain the political situation of the elves and humans.
Yeah, the elves control Drevlin and are much more powerful militarily than the humans they are at war with. the Tribus Empire controls most of Arianis.
And in fact, he used to control King Stephen's lands.
Yeah, he now controls his own lands through, well, for reasons that the game is not going to get into at all.
Nope.
But he wants us to get the elves to lift off and then signal him so that he can ambush the elven ship and take it over. Because, well, he cannot go up against the elven military, he can take a single ship with, like, 5 crewmen.
And apparently recruit Haplo after Haplo insulted him like 5 times in a row.
Well, yes, he seems to understand that Haplo doesn't really have a choice in this.
Good luck, my friend.
Now he says we have run of the palace. We don't. The guards won't let us back in. See, no matter what the king says, this guard still thinks we're a jerk. Because this guard is great.
And he's technically correct, isn't he?
Oh, yes. Meanwhile, Haplo is going to climb and fall out of another tree. And we're going to break into this window. See, we can't reach the bar that's holding it shut, but thankfully we've just picked up half a pair of shears.
A shear, in other words.
Yes, 1 shear. Now, once we open the window, oh, it turns out it's Trian's room.
Wouldn't a window like this on a stone castle be kinda compromising?
Especially in the wizard's study, yes.
Also, they animated this.
Yeah, Trian can enter his tapestry, which contains what appears to be an elf prisoner.
Oh,
and he just taught Haplo a new spell.
Yeah, this is how Haplo learns spells. Apparently, Patron are just really, really good at picking up spells they see once.
Well, either that or Haplo is. Could be both.
Fair enough.
We also stole Trian's candlestick and one of his books.
Oh my goodness, more animation! What game am I in?
I will be transcribing this for the thread because I didn't spend enough time on it for people to read this without pausing the video, which you can feel free to do, but we're just going to keep talking.
Oh yeah.
Now, the long and the short of this... what were you saying?
This book touches on a bunch of things in the setting and the novel which will never come into play in this game, but there are some elements here that are unique to the game, and I'll let you explain them.
Yeah, this book was written by a bunch of wizards, hired by a guild of assassins called the Brotherhood, and it details their work building a security system. See, the Brotherhood wanted to build a tower guarded by an overly elaborate front door, which the wizards thought was, in fact, overly elaborate. They could have made it much simpler and just as secure, but the Brotherhood wanted it to be, impressive. And the tower is sealed by a bunch of magical handprints, which hide the Brotherhood's vault, which contains all of their treasures and artifacts, and stores those in the Otherwhere, which is sort of a not space, possibility space sort of thing, which, well, you can read about it.
Quantum magic. There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, this is our new spell, Create Reality Pocket.
This explanation is great, by the way.
Yeah. It's, basically, making art literally creates pocket dimensions.
This just opens them up. It doesn't actually, create the pocket.
Yeah, it just opens the door to it. And we go through that door, which is the tapestry, and we can talk to the elf imprisoned inside.
Who is a wizard, because Haplo recognizes those on sight.
Well, yeah, he's wearing pants.
Clearly.
Also, he's kind of a dick, which, seems to be pretty standard for wizards so far. Though in fairness, he has been imprisoned in a tapestry, so he has kind of a right to be annoyed.
And he's also talking to Haplo, who is also a dick.
Yeah. He does think Haplo's a human, though.
And here's a bit of characterization for you. Haplo doesn't have an option to correct it.
Yeah, Haplo doesn't really feel the need to tell this guy that he isn't human. Passing for human is a good idea right now.
And that's just what you're going to get as well.
You don't like humans?
And the reason that this elf is in here is because Trian wants to get information out of him, and if the elf were turned over to King Stephen, well, Stephen would just kill this guy.
So naturally, he keeps him in a tapestry in his room.
Well, yeah, it's a cell that is inescapable, and Stephen doesn't really wonder why he's keeping a tapestry of an elf. It's kind of weird now that I think about it.
I think Stephen just doesn't come into Trian's room at all. I mean...
Well, would you?
No, not really. It's a wizard's room.
Yeah. You never know what he's keeping in there.
Animation budget.
Yeah, but, I mean, Haplo didn't want this wine. It wasn't any good, so he'll give it to this guy instead. And now he's happy to talk to us. And he's also happy to tell us exactly what he's been hiding from Trian, which is that he knows absolutely nothing.
If Trian had just given him wine earlier, I think, this prisoner might have been more pliable.
Well, yeah, but wine's expensive. And, actually, I'm not sure Trian has any. I mean, as far as I can tell, the only wine in all of Arianis was in that one ship.
And it was also elven wine.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, another explanation of the Elderware.
Yeah, they really want to be sure you understand how this works.
There's
This spell is surprisingly important. There's the spell description, there's the book, there's this.
It's almost as if it's going to be used again, but,
Yeah, that's not possible. Not in an adventure game. Anyway, this guy is upset because of his treatment. His treatment is that he's being kept in a cell and has not had anything to drink in hours. Literal hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the court wizard of a minor elven noble. So he's not very good at this whole wizard thing.
Only of the 4th house. Yeah, that's yeah. Got all of these tiny little, color phrases.
Yeah. We also learned that the elves don't even think of the dwarves as people. They're just slaves.
It's clear that he has never even, met a dwarf.
Well, of course not. Why would he ever go to Drevlin?
And he doesn't really know anything about them, but he knows that they're not people.
Yeah. This guy actually does not know a lot. He has very little useful information for Haplo. So Haplo's instead going to just mock him about being stuck in a dungeon.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now this Shroud of Darkness does sound useful, though. I mean, we do have some lights we need to put out.
Yeah, if we're not going to pump this wizard for information, what else can we get from him?
Yeah, what can I get from this person is pretty much the key to understanding how Haplo thinks. The elf can't escape because the only times he could get out is when Trian is there, and Trian is a better wizard than he is. Which he has basically admitted, despite being very, very, very clear that he is the superior wizard when we started talking.
Oh, obviously.
So, he's not going to teach us magic, or so he says. So, I think we're done here.
Okay, fair enough.
We're just going to leave him to his cell, and see, he's a dick.
And the painting didn't change.
Yeah, the game does not really expect you to leave the cell at this point.
They animated Trian entering it, they animated the portal opening, but they didn't animate the prisoner's change.
Yeah, and that is one thing that, by rights, they should have if they ever expected you to leave, because one of the key things about this spell is that when something does change in the painting, in the pocket dimension, it changes the art itself. So, let's talk to him about magic some more. Maybe he actually will teach us Shroud of Darkness. See? He'll teach us! Hooray! Nothing could go wrong.
It's important that it's black, because black absorbs all light because of physics. And this is how magic works.
Yeah, magic is physics in this game. Only magic.
Quantum something something theory something.
Yeah. Oh no! The elf has betrayed us! He's cast another spell! Who could have seen it coming?
And this amazing scene right before our eyes!
Yeah, to summarize, the elf swapped places with us after he grabbed our hand.
Pretty clever,
and now
really.
we're stuck in the cell, and he's able to leave and do whatever he likes because he's a dick. After a few hours, Trian comes by and finds us trapped in his tapestry. He lets us out and tells us to leave because he doesn't want to admit to King Stephen that he had an elf prisoner and the prisoner escaped.
And we never really talked to Trian directly, do we?
No.
No.
We don't even get to see the guy except for that one cutscene.
This game.
But we do have Shroud of Darkness now, which works exactly the way the elf said it does.
And we have Swap.
Yep. And I'm sure that'll come in handy at some point.
Someone had to invent the spell to do exactly this.
Yeah, it swaps the location of two thinking people and requires you to be touching your target. Amazing! Truly, Haplo is the greatest wizard.
Well, he at least he knows how to, have a little bit of humor about it.
Yeah. So that's about all we can do here for now, so let's head back to Drevlin.
I do like this map. I really, really do.
It's a nice map. Not very big, but it doesn't have to be. So now that we're here on Drevlin, I thought there might be some new dialogue with the dwarves. There isn't.
Oh, clearly not. I mean, you just left the continent and, went upstairs, so to speak, and then came back, but there was nothing new to say.
Well, nothing's really changed for these guys. Gods are still here. Pipes haven't been fixed. That's really all that goes on here. But we do have Limbic's shirt, which we're going to dip in the ink jug. Right in front of him.
Because ink is always, totally black.
Well, in this case, it was, thankfully. We still can't wear it, but Limbic doesn't want it back, at least.
Haplo! Don't show your loot to the people you looted it from.
They don't know it's theirs.
They watched him take it and they watched him dye it.
Dwarves are dumb. That's really all there is to it.
Yeah. It's kind of the takeaway here.
But we're going to reward Limbic for allowing us to do that by giving him a candlestick and taking his pipe. He really likes that candlestick.
Yeah, well,
It's a nice candlestick.
Yeah, fair
to get back to the to get back to the ship, we're going to have to do the same exact puzzle as last time.
Because that doesn't.
I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure why they decided you had to do that. Other than, well, time has passed. Logically, the thing should have been fixed by now.
Exact same text and everything.
Yep. So we go back to the elf ship, and once again, I was pretty sure there'd be new dialogue here. No. Haplo is a dick and does not really feel like telling the Duke that he's talked to King Stephen.
Yeah, sure. Why would he ever do that?
So we have to put the black shirt over the figurines, but I got the order wrong. I thought we would enchant it once it was there. No, we have to enchant it first.
That's kind of specific, but,
Adventure game logic. This is just how it works. But now we have a black shirt that is so black it absorbs light. and by putting it over the glowing statues, we disable their magic, which immediately renders every elf on Drevlin completely normal. They're pretty quick on the uptake that this is a bad thing.
I do like that little hop there.
Yeah, it's a really good animation. And the dwarves have formed a lynch mob already, so they're pretty quick on the uptake too.
I talked about this in a post earlier, but yeah, this is all we see of the Dwarf Revolution.
Now we have exactly one action to do anything, because if we do anything but go downstairs, the elf wizard comes out and kills us.
By the way, we can die in this game.
Yeah, but there are no real consequences to dying. We can just undo whatever we did. Head downstairs. And now we have to hide in the storeroom. Because again, if we don't do that, we have only one action, and we will die.
So naturally we do something else.
Oh, of course, he has new dialogue now. I mean,
Yep.
It's not much, but it's new.
Yeah, I mean, you only had to die to get it.
Yeah, I mean, what do I lose? I lose 10 seconds. So we head into the storeroom, the elves take off because they don't want to be killed by angry dwarves, and we start flying. Now we have to find a way to signal King Stephen.
The ship's gone completely dark.
And that chest is locked and we can't open it, but hey, there's a zinger in this box.
I'm sure the solution to this puzzle will be completely sane.
Oh yeah. So let's try to break the lock open with the the shear's too weak. Okay, we'll do something else then. Like, well, this zinger has a switch. And it's fully charged.
This doesn't bode well.
Let's turn it on.
Oh god.
Yep,
Whoa.
this
Whoa.
will work perfectly.
Yeah, this won't get mistaken for a thunderstorm or anything.
Well, it thankfully does not. It's loud and flashy enough that the humans are able to spot it and come rescue the ship.
And we're straight back here.
Yep, no transitions. But hey, everyone is safe. King Stephen is quite happy with us. And hey, he's got an elf ship out of the deal. What's not to like?
Yeah, you know, other than Half-Blow not getting his. Whatever that is.
Well, I'm sure that he'll get something out of this. We just have to get King Stephen to remember he promised us something. I'm sure that he's not going to, hold back on us.
What do you
See,
want?
he says he won't. So Half-Blow's going to go for the big guns.
He milks it for everything that it's worth, of course.
Unfortunately, King Stephen doesn't have any kids.
Fortunately.
Fortunately. And he doesn't want to give us money, so, well, maybe we don't want anything.
He has a kid.
Okay, that
We're
didn't
gonna
help.
hate him.
Yeah. Wait, this character's in the book?
Oh yeah,
I did not know that.
he is. I'll be talking about that, when this goes up.
Ah, alright. So, we're going to try to get information out of King Stephen. He doesn't know much. No one knows much about the Kixie Winsey, though Stephen does know what a Sartan is.
Hey, pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah. And apparently all of the Sartan artifacts are in the Tower of the Brotherhood.
The Assassin's Tower.
Yes, the one that the wizards made the overly elaborate defense system for.
So,
We're gonna have to break in there.
yeah. Good thing we have a book.
I'm sure that can't... Yeah, I'm sure this cannot possibly go wrong.
Also, apparently, assassin now means librarian.
Well, we do kill people.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course librarians kill people. What else would they do?
That's what I learned at library school. So, the Brotherhood has been gathering information from all over Arianis, all the Sartan artifacts in the world. They've killed everyone else who had any. for no clear reason, but maybe they just really want those.
And then they locked it all up in a really fancy cell.
Yep, on Skirvash. A horrible, horrible place under elven control.
You gotta love the name. I mean, it even sounds like scurvy.
Yeah, it's a human town, but it is in elven lands, so we can't really fly there.
Yeah, elves control all of the airspace around this assassin's place, somehow.
Yeah, so we need to find a way to get there that doesn't look like humans are doing it. I wonder where we could get that. Alright. Yeah, Haplo's on the ball here. So we're going to take the elf ship to Skirvash, keeping in mind that our own ship is still on Drevlin.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, we cannot actually go back there right now. In fact, we don't get to control the elf ship, because King Stephen is going to be sending a crew of his own soldiers with it to make sure that Haplo doesn't steal it. Which Haplo totally would have done.
Yeah, I was about to say.
King Stephen knows what Haplo's up to.
You can also tell that the ship is exactly like Haplo's ship in most respects, except this one sensibly does not have any rigging.
It's also bigger.
Well, yeah.
Haplo doesn't have the slave pens, or the other rooms, or the upstairs cabin. In fact, Haplo's ship just has the one room.
But you can really tell that in the novels, the ship was originally from Arianas. This is where he got, the ship.
Yeah. But, so now we have to head into Skirvash and find out more about the Brotherhood, because we don't really know that much other than that one book.
Also, that entire sequence earned us 10 points.
Yep. We also can't get back into the wizard's cabin, because it is literally stuffed to the brim with soldiers. There is no room for Haplo.
Yeah, it's not like they didn't want to, draw that room or anything.
Yeah. So, let's head into town.
Oh, look.
Yeah, some kid playing with a doll.
Hey.
In the meantime, let's look at the Zinger.
Yeah. It's a magical artifact.
Yep.
Because
it gathers electricity, and if you press the lever, it releases it all violently. Nothing we hadn't figured out already, but still.
Batteries are magical, you see. Oh, hello.
Yeah. The doll just went into the alleyway.
Would you please get my doll back? I couldn't possibly.
And now the kid wants us to go and get it.
Dark and scary.
Well, kid, got one question for you. Can you pay?
You want me to go in there? What's it worth to you?
Because, I mean, that's all Haplo cares about.
Hey, what's in this for the Haplo, man?
Well, the kid is flattering us, that's something.
Wow, this kid really knows how to pull the Oliver Twist routine.
Yeah. And, I mean, in our debt forever, maybe he's offering to be Haplo's slave. Ooh. We'll find out next time.
That'll be worth it.
Yep, so, anything you want to add in closing?
This is totally not a trap.
Oh no. Could not possibly go wrong. Anyway, join us next time when things cannot possibly go wrong.